AEW Dynamite delivered multiple championship matches and heated encounters for its February 12th edition in Austin, Texas. Claudio Castagnoli, Pac and Wheeler Yuta defended the Trios Championships against Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, and we got big developments ahead of Revolution. But we started the show off with Max Caster trying to hide in the crowd after Hangman Adam Page answered his challenge. Once the Cowboy had dragged into the ring, he won quickly the buckshot. This was a quick and effective payoff for last week's conflict between Page and Caster. It was exactly as long as it should have been, an entertaining squash. The best wrestler alive is struggling in his open challenge, and it really is leading to the question of what's the point in splitting up the Acclaimed. And yeah, if anything, I'd rather see Bowens get more TV times than Caster is getting at the moment, especially when he's just being jobbed out. So yeah, for that reason I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Moving on then to the Trios Championship, the Death Riders versus the Undisputed Kingdom. After World Trios action, Claudio Castagnoli and Pac distracted the ref, as well as Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, allowing Wheeler Yuta to score with a low blow to Kyle O'Reilly. Unsurprisingly, 6 of AEW's best workhorse wrestlers delivered a great contest. It was especially pleasing to see how the two teams played in a Trios format. It was chaotic and energised. Every possible double and triple team sequence was utilised. O'Reilly and Strong were able to shine as a duo. This was never going to be a moment for the Death Riders to be dethroned, but the Undisputed Kingdom could be the team to beat them with a more story development. AEW's trio division has mostly been built on Collision, where Undisputed Kingdom have picked up important wins. No matter the show though, the division needs strong focus. Yeah, it's the first time they've defended the title in a while, and it's a really good match. So yeah, it needs to be continued, but this is a good start at least. I'll get it a 7 out of 10. Moving on then to Samoa Joe, Hook and Shibata taking on Solo, Cruz and Grillo. Yeah, this was basically a squash match. Joe getting a muscle buster to Cruz. The Samoan submission machine then laid out a challenge for the Patriarchy for next week's show. After the emphatic trays about the procedure, it's barely even a match, but we did see the stage set for a Joe promo. Christian Cage's feud with Hook was growing stale, but adding Joe and Shibata to the mix made it all worth it. Matches like this also set the stage for raising the trios division and presenting future challenges. So yeah, I'm not against it at all. 6 out of 10. Before Chris Jericho called out Bandido, who answered for a showdown, Brian Keith helped in a sneak attack, but the Outrunners ran off the Learning Tree and Bad Apple. Big Bill threatened to take out Bandido alone, but the Powerhouse arrived to plant the Red Bull with a chokedown. The battle lines are being drawn, the Learning Tree and the Greek's primary rivals, and this story is far more effective in elevating the faces. In particular, Hobbs has looked truly dangerous anytime he battles Bill, and an eventual match between them has a big pay-per-view feel. Playing off Bandido's bounty gimmick has allowed him to quickly rebuild his spot on the roster as well. Hopefully it all leads to him getting a chance at reclaiming the RH title, although that should be a story for RH TV rather than AEW TV. But next up, MJF was pushed to the brink by Dustin Rhodes, but after hitting the natural with his own final reckoning, MJF transitioned into the salt of the earth, then a crossface for a technical knockout. MJF sent Bryce Remsburg running after the win and then knocked back in the salt of the earth until Hangman made a save. Officials struggled to stop the ball, but that went into the crowd. The salt of the earth and Rhodes had a good old-fashioned wrestling match. It was a technical story-driven brawl where the veteran showing he still got it. Throughout the match, MJF found himself frustrated with the resilience of the natural, who tapped into his own persona to take the win. The dastardly heel found a way again, but he'll have a much tougher for the time stopping Hangman, especially an incensed Hangman. It was nice to see this feud explode on Dynamite with all the teasers. The extended brawl showed how much the two men hate each other. This is just a money match for Revolution that could well steal the whole show. Great stuff, really enjoyed it, and yeah, gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Moving on then to Maya World, who could barely scratch Megan Bain, who finished their match quickly with a 6 out of F5. A quick squash on a night with multiple, but at least AEW is not only keeping Bane relevant but also booking Moen's matches on Dynamite. The squash match with Bane had more to their point, and it's more to do with Megasus. This seems to be the plan with teased the potential feuds with both Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander, and yeah, I kind of like the way they're building her up as well. So yeah, gets a 6 out of 10 from me. We then got Penelope Ford taking on Chris Statlander, 2 women's matches on Dynamite and 2 in a row, blimey. And yeah, Penelope Ford showed off her speed and athleticism, but the power of Chris Statlander was too much, hitting the Wednesday Night Fever for the win. Afterwards, Ford knocks Statlander out of the ring, followed by Bane landing her with an F5. Since the result was entirely expected, Ford did the absolute most she could to make this a contest. It was good. The bad girl looked good since returning, clearly helped by working with one of the best in AEW. Statlander is the best matchup for most on the roster. The star power of the women's division has never been stronger, and there's simply no more room on Dynamite or Collision to limit opportunities for this roster. Statlander was out of the ring for a few weeks, and her absence was missed. Luckily, AEW is clearly set the stage for her next rival, and it's the match that will be special. Megan Bain may not have the pedigree of Statlander, but AEW has done enough to sell her as the new powerhouse of the division, fighting the standard bearer. So yeah, I thought this was really good stuff, really building up the women's division now outside of just the title scene. So yeah, really good, and I thought I'm going in the right direction with this. I'll give it 6 out of 10. We then got the Hurt Syndicate against the Guns for the AEW tag titles, and the Guns got closer than expected against the Hurt Syndicate, but an emphatic spear from Lashley sealed the victory all the same. Afterwards, Cage and Archer arrived to clap the champions' impressive win while threatening a new challenge. A hot Austin crowd made this a match that felt big. The Guns were rolling with a crowd that was fully behind them. Nothing in the action was mind-blowing, but both teams played well to the crowd energy, hitting explosive offense throughout. Lashley and Benjamin picked up a nice first win as champions, establishing themselves quickly as fighting champs. The popularity also allows them to play heel or face depending on the opponent, so the stage is truly set for the Hurt Syndicate to have a dominant run with the belts, and I think that could be exactly what the division needs, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Good stuff. And in our closing segment, the Rated R superstar Cope and Jay White headed to the ring with Moxley's AEW World Championship briefcase. Cope brought out Spike to break the briefcase open. The Death Riders laid a grade to face the Rated R superstar at last for the championship at Revolution. Cope then smashed the lock on the briefcase as the Death Riders descended. The Death Riders got the briefcase back before the championship was revealed, but Cope caught Mox with a spear to stand tall with the switchblade. This was an effective way to keep the Death Riders versus Cope and White story rolling. The briefcase has been a spot of contention for a while, so teasing the opening made for a solid hit. The sudden commitment to the Rated R superstar and switchblade as a duo overusing FTR is an odd move, though. It could well lead to a turn at Revolution, or who knows. The goal was set up Mox v Cope, and in a way it did that. But it's going to be a tough ask, making it feel bigger than some of the feuds that we've currently got going on at the moment. And overall, Dynamite this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought, it's a pretty solid episode of Dynamite this week. Obviously, we finally got that Mox Cope match at Revolution, build up to Grand Slam as well, and I think the women's division is improving, the trios division is improving, so I think there's quite a lot to be positive about in AEW as we head into a big few weeks for the promotion, so I'll give it 7 out of 10. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.